Startups Weekly, Chinese investors double down on African startups. Hello and welcome back to Startups Weekly, a weekend newsletter that dives into the week's noteworthy startups and venture capital news. Before I jump into today's topic, let's catch up a bit. Last week, I wrote about Airbnb's issues. Before that, I noted Uber's new money team. Remember, you can send me tips, suggestions and feedback to kate.clark@techcrunch.com or on Twitter @KateClarkTweets. If you're new, you can subscribe to Startups Weekly here. China's pivot to Africa. 3 African fintech startups, OPay, PalmPay and East African trucking logistics company Lorry Systems, closed large fundraisers this year. On their own, the deals aren't particularly notable, but together, they expose a new trend within the African startup ecosystem. This year, those 3 companies brought in a total of $240 million in venture capital funding from 15 different Chinese investors, who've become increasingly active in Africa's tech scene. TechCrunch reporter Jake Bright, who covers African tech, writes that 2019 marks the year Chinese investors went all in on the continent's startup scene, particularly its fintech projects. Why? The continent's 1.2 billion people represent the largest share of the world's unbanked and underbanked population, which makes fintech Africa's most promising digital sector, Bright notes. In previous years, the country's interactions with African startups were relatively light compared to deal-making on infrastructure and commodities. Chinese actors investing heavily in African mobile consumer platforms lends to looking at new data privacy and security issues for the continent. Active Chinese investors in Africa include Hillhouse Capital, Meituan Dianping, Garong, Source Code Capital, SoftBank Ventures Asia, Bai, Redpoint, IDG Capital, Sequoia China, Crystal Stream Capital, GSR Ventures, Chinese mobile phone maker Transsion and NetEase. Here's more of TechCrunch's recent coverage of Africa startup activity. PalmPay launches in Nigeria with $40 million. African fintech startup OPay gains $120 million from Chinese investors. Chaka opens up global investing to Africa's most populous nation. Kenya's Twiga Foods eyes West Africa after Goldman investment. Africa can list more gazelles at home than unicorn IPOs abroad. VC deals. It was a short week, happy Thanksgiving, by the way. But here's a quick look at the top deals of the last few days. Indian scooter rental company Bounce raises $150 million. Second-hand clothes marketplace Vinted nabs $141 million at $1B plus valuation. Instagram founders join $30 million raise for Loom Work Video Messenger. Truva, an online marketplace for independent boutiques, gets $22 million. Forest Admin raises $7 million to help you build admin channels. Foodvisor raises $4.5 million to track what you eat using AI. Cocoon, a new app for staying in touch with friends. For more on this story, visit the news article link.